Well, welcome back to Shelf Life. I'm Leah.
I'm Val.
And today we are at the University of Wisconsin La Crosse, sitting on a picnic bench. I cannot speak.
On a picnic bench.
I grabbed Starbucks at the Centennial Cup. And
What did you grab, Leah?
I got a white chocolate mocha.
That was cheesy.
What did you grab, Leah?
So, what are you drinking? That wasn't any cooler.
Sounds good to me. I got a white chocolate mocha and I added 3 pumps of brown sugar. It's basically like sugar in a cup.
So it's a 10?
Yeah, it's a 10.
There you go.
It is really good. I really like this one.
Very nice. I'm drinking day old tap water.
And is it good? Is it a 10? Can you taste those minerals?
We'll give it a 5.
A 5 still?
Sure. We can't laugh too much though because I'm still sick, you guys.
Yep.
So,
Val is just going through it for the last month.
This whole year, I'm getting all the sickness out for like the next 6 years.
Let's hope. Yeah, you're just going to be perfectly healthy for the rest of your life.
Perfectly healthy as I cough up a lung.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Anyways, welcome back to Shelf Life. This week we read How to Sell a Haunted House by Grady Hendrix.
Perfect book for October.
It is. Before we get into it though, do you want to give us a little high and low of your week?
Sure. A high. I've been doing a lot of different shoots recently, or like projects, and also my basically in-laws came to visit over the weekend, so we had a good time hanging out and catching up. And yeah, a low is that I am still not in my routine again yet.
Leah.
And I am just struggling to wake up in the mornings. Like, it's pitch dark at 6:30, 7 o'clock, and I just can't get myself to roll out of bed yet. So I need to like start setting alarms on my phone so I can actually wake up. Normally I was just naturally getting up when the sun was out, but now I am not. So yeah, that's my low.
That's okay.
But a high and a low for you?
Oh, my high is that Leah did my senior pictures.
I did.
My
It
graduation
was so fun.
photos.
Mm-hmm.
And I just know that they're going to turn out amazing. I'm so excited. I mean, like, we looked through them all basically, and they look so good.
Yes, they do.
So I'm very excited.
Mm-hmm.
My low is that I'm on my deathbed. That's the end of that.
She hasn't left her deathbed in a while.
No, I've been one foot in the grave for 2025. Honestly, all of it. So,
How fitting with today's book.
yes. Ooh, segue. Look at that. It's almost like I planned it. Anyways.
Yeah. I do have to mention that I did DNF this book, not on purpose. I just ran out of time.
You didn't DNF it because you are going to finish it.
I will finish it. I just haven't actually finished it yet.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
And just in case anyone cares, I did finish Pumpkin Spice Cafe begrudgingly just so that I can mark it off on my Goodreads.
Yeah, I mean, you were 80% through.
I had to because I was so close.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, you'll finish. Don't worry.
On that note, though, of Goodreads, I am trying to hit 50 books read this year, and I think I'm at like 26 out of 50 now. Val, what is your...
I thought you were further than that. Oh,
Maybe I'm 27.
Yeah, I think you...
28?
I want to say you're like 28, but maybe I'm wrong.
I think I have like... Yeah, that might be right. I think I have 22 books left to finish.
Yeah.
So I need to get on it. I need to start reading more. Yeah.
Yeah. You
And
can do it, though.
Where are you at with your 2025
My goal is 30, and this book was 20. So I'm, like, not quite on track, but I'm pretty close.
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to hit our goals.
We are.
Mm-hmm. But, okay. Do you think it's time to start getting into the book?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. So, How to Sell a Haunted House is basically about a haunted house. Big shocker.
Mm-hmm.
There is a woman named Louise and her brother Mark. Those are like the main two characters. And basically, Mark and Louise's parents pass away in the beginning of the book. They got into like this car accident, and then that leaves Mark and Louise to figure out what to do with the house. It's like packed full of all of the things their mom has like created over the last however many years, and obviously like that's the childhood home where they grew up, so there's a lot of memories and a lot of I guess maybe not so good things that they have been through. So yeah, there is a lot of tension, and there's just weird vibes going on. Also, we should note, the mom collected dolls. All kinds of them.
Well, and she made them.
Yes.
She made puppets.
She made puppets, and then she like had regular dolls too, I think, right? Because there was a puppet room.
But she like made all of them.
Yeah.
Which is just
crazy. I don't like dolls, so I was kind of expecting that this was gonna kind of go the way it did. As they're going through this house, weird things start happening, and the past starts to resurface more, and the siblings kind of like figure things out. And yeah, that's about all I can really say without spoiling too much. But Val, take it away. How did you like this book? What were your thoughts while reading it, and what did you rate it?
Okay, so I initially I was a little worried for this book. I didn't like read the synopsis or anything before starting it, so I was a little worried, but I actually kind of enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I gave it, I mean, you can't do half stars on Goodreads, but I'm gonna give it a 3.5. I thought overall I was very frustrated with the beginning of the book. It starts off, it's a lot of like family trauma is a lot of what like the book kind of focuses around.
Yeah.
And kind of like dealing with that unresolved family trauma. And the first part of the book is just like Louise and Mark bickering. And I had a really, really hard time. Honestly, it was like the first third of the book.
Yeah.
Before like, there were like some spooky things, but like nothing that crazy was happening.
No.
But I just had a really hard time with like, without getting too much into it, but like Louise and Mark just kept switching what they wanted.
Yeah.
And then they're fighting, and she's like, well, I'm gonna go home. Now I'm not going home. And he's like, I'm splitting this part of the estate with you. No, I'm not. And I'm like, oh my gosh, can we please make up our minds?
Yeah.
Like, they were fighting, and it wasn't necessarily the fighting that pissed me off, but it was the fact that I was like, why are we changing what I was struggling with that. However, I thought it was, honestly, I thought it was kind of dumb for a while.
Yeah.
Because puppets something about like a hand puppet being like the main antagonist was really messing with my brain. I'm like still just like thinking of like Sesame Street, and I'm like it's cute. Like, how is it scary? So I was having kind of a hard time with that. But when I stopped thinking about it so much as like a puppet, and I was like, oh, it's just scary. It's just whatever. Then I'm like, low key, this is kind of a good book. I just had to like get over the hump of like, it's a hand puppet.
Yeah.
So sorry to spoil that, but the main antagonist is a hand puppet.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
What were your thoughts?
Okay, well, as I mentioned earlier, I didn't actually finish it. I think I still have like 50 pages left, so I'm really close. But I thought the same thing about the first third of the book. It was a lot of just like the dynamic between Mark and Louise, and it kind of got just a little repetitive almost, and it was frustrating because I just wanted the action. And then basically the action just like hits you, and it just doesn't stop. Yeah.
Also, sorry so much for not doing this during passing time.
At least there's not a lot of people like around us.
Sorry to interrupt you.
Yet. But yeah, so it was a little frustrating in the beginning, that it took so long to get into like the actual action part. And I just thought it was weird that, like, Luis just gets randomly attacked by squirrels while they're cleaning out the house. And then she's like, she pretends it didn't happen.
Well, that's because it wasn't squirrels. It was the nativity squirrels.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But they weren't real. They were, like, the stuffed squirrels.
Yes. Yeah. But she like convinced herself. She was like, oh, they were just squirrels in the attic. Like, yeah, it wasn't the nativity scene. But
she was way too chill about that.
She was! She literally got attacked by these fucking stuffed squirrels and, like, had scratch marks all over her body. And she just didn't, like, she didn't tell Mark about it at all until later on in the book. She was like, oh, yeah, the squirrel nativity attacked me. Like, right. Oh, okay.
Even if they were normal squirrels, she was just, like, way too, like...
Yes.
Oh, squirrels just attacked me.
Yeah.
That happens every day.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting towards, like, the middle of the book. That's when, like, Pumpkin and his personality really starts, like, being put out there. Yes. And they start actually acknowledging the fact that he can talk and that there's something wrong with him.
Pumpkin is the puppet.
Yes, the hand puppet. So it was very interesting to know that Mark had previous experience with Pumpkin and he was, like, taken over by him before, but that wasn't really talked about. Like, the past experiences, like, they weren't fully described or talked about, really. And same with Luis. Like, she had apparently tried to, like, kill Mark when they were little because Pumpkin was talking to her, and, like, she was a child and this hand puppet was fully just, like, moving in front of her and talking to her, and she still didn't really do anything about it. Like, she didn't tell anybody. Just the way that this book and its, like, different chapters were laid out were very interesting to me. And yeah, I can't really talk too much about the ending because I didn't really read it. Val told me about it though. And I will finish.
She will.
Yeah.
Honestly, overall, I thought it was kind of a cool way to, like, depict, like, family trauma. And obviously, like, a huge arc throughout the whole story was that, like, not only did Luis and Mark have a lot of unresolved conflict between them, but, like, Luis and her mom also had a lot of unresolved conflict that they never were able to resolve because she passed away. But then also, like, Luis's mom with her family also had a lot of, like, unresolved issues. So I thought it was kind of, like, a unique way of, like, depicting the importance of, like, being able to, like, talk to your family and, like, have healthy conversations and stuff like that, and not just, like, sweeping problems under the rug or like things will kind of just, like, continue to snowball. I had something else I was gonna say and then it just fell out of my brain.
It'll come back.
Oh, I also think, like, at first I was really, really struggling to get on board with the whole, like, hand puppet thing. Once again, like I said, kind of goofy.
Yeah.
But I did think it was kind of interesting because, like, the crafts that her mom made was almost like an outlet for her trauma. And then, like, the idea that, like, her grief and everything after she passed, like, manifested itself in what she created.
Yeah.
And then it kind of, like, haunted her kids is, like, it was kind of an interesting concept. And honestly, like, when I started this book, I'm like, God, I'm gonna hate it. I know I'm gonna hate it. I feel really bad because I always hate all the books that we read. I don't hate them. It's like, I feel like I'm always such, like, a harsh critic. But then, I don't know, we, like, got to the end and I'm like, wait a minute. Maybe there is kind of, like, a little deep meaning here. Maybe I'm just reading too much into it. I don't know.
No, it was very fascinating. I liked it.
One big problem that I did have, not so much with the story, but more so with, like, the pacing of the book. The last third I thought was really good. First third was kind of like lots of, like, the fighting, like we said. I feel like that went on for a really long time.
Yeah.
But I think one of my biggest gripes was, like, the author just went into, like, so much detail and so much backstory that it was it was almost a little too much. Like, right in the middle, we get this section about Mark. When he, like, goes to college, he ends up, like, having some experience with, like, puppets. He stops going to class, and he, like, joins, like, a puppeteering group. And they're, like, an activism group, and they're trying to, like, promote, like, anti-war messages. And that backstory was, like, so long. There was so much. I was listening to the audiobook, and I literally think, like, 2 hours of the audiobook was Mark's backstory. And it was just, like, a solid chunk. So I do feel like the pacing in the book was a little bit strange.
Yes.
The action parts were done really well, but, like, some of the backstory was... It was a lot.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of it just wasn't really necessary. Like, that first third, we understand that Mark and Louise have problems, but it still doesn't really tackle what those problems are. It's more just them bickering in the present moment. And so, like, it almost did feel just too repetitive because it was the same thing over and over again. And like you said, they just kept, like, changing their minds on what they wanted to do about the house and, like, whatever. And it was just quite frustrating because the author definitely could have probably made that third, like, a half the length and still got the main point across. Yeah.
Or even if, like, they had more about, like why they were so upset and why they were going back and forth. I was really struggling to, like, understand Louise's perspective because essentially, like, in this first part of the book, Louise and Mark find out that after a long legal debacle, Mark gets left everything, their parents' entire estate, besides, like, the art that their mom made all goes to Louise.
Yeah.
And I was really struggling because, like, I understood that she wasn't mad about not getting any of her parents' estate, but, like, she was really pissed off still. And I was, like, struggling to follow why, and maybe that was, like, part of it, that, like, grief is complicated or whatever. You're not really supposed to understand why, but it was hard.
From my understanding, I think the tensions arised because Louise viewed Mark as, like, this troubled boy who never got in trouble for anything he did. His parents just, like, let him do whatever he wanted. Like, he had dropped out of college or whatever, and their parents had paid for it, basically. But he never got reprimanded for that. He, like, always broke her things when they were children, and, like, he never got in trouble for it. And he just, like, got away with all of these, like, bad things or negative things. So she kind of had, like, just, I don't know what I'm even trying to say. I can't think of the word right now. But she
just like, had everything handed to him.
Yes, yeah. She was very upset about that. But then, on the other hand, Mark viewed Louise as, like, this perfect girl who never did anything wrong either. Like, they kind of had the same views of each other. And the whole reason being because Louise had apparently tried to kill him when they were younger, but that was because of Pupkin. So I feel like the puppets and, like, their moms, like you said, their moms, like, grief or just, like, unresolved trauma kind of put a divide between her children almost, because they just, like, hated each other and they didn't really understand it. I feel like
I also feel like they never felt, like, comfortable enough to talk to each other.
No,
because I mean, basically they were upset about a bunch of things that happened when they were kids, and they never had a conversation about it, so they were just stewing over all of this stuff that was honestly just kind of, like, misunderstanding.
But yeah, so that just goes to show the importance of actually talking about things and not sweeping it under the rug, and how generational trauma manifests.
And go to therapy.
Yeah. Okay. Now I guess we can head into more spoilers for the end. Yeah.
Sure. Where do we want to spoil from?
Okay, so let's back it up to the mother's backstory and her losing her brother.
Okay. So basically, when... Do you remember the mom's name?
Nancy.
Nancy.
Mm-hmm.
When the mom, Nancy, was young, she had, like, a brother. His name was Freddie, and he unfortunately passed away. And, like, the whole family kind of knew about this. However, once the things with the puppets start... Well, I'm actually going to back up a little further. So, the pumpkin, this puppet, obviously is, like, comes to life, basically, and starts terrorizing them.
Mm-hmm.
And after Mark kind of, like, confides in Luis and tells him about this whole backstory, they go back to their parents' house, and Mark essentially ends up putting Pumpkin on and getting possessed by him.
Mm-hmm.
In order to get Pumpkin off, Luis saws Mark's arm off.
Yeah.
Which is
crazy. I feel like that was wildly unnecessary.
I feel like that should have been, like, maybe, like, last resort option, but she kind of was just, like, done.
Yeah. It was a power saw, by the way.
Yeah.
Not like a mechanical
Yeah,
one.
like a...
But either way, very bad still.
So, after that happens, they're, like, she goes back to the house, she burns Pumpkin, and she's like, perfect, we're done. Things are all good with it. So she ends up going back home. She lives in San Francisco, not wherever this book takes place. And
South Carolina.
South Carolina.
Yeah.
She goes back home to see her daughter.
Mm-hmm.
She finds out that her daughter had this vision to make a puppet that looked just like Pumpkin.
Uh-huh.
So burning the puppet didn't work.
No.
Even though they were hoping that that would work. So she brings Poppy, her daughter, back with Pumpkin. And Pumpkin is basically, like, slowly taking over Poppy's body and possessing Poppy.
Mm-hmm.
So, going back to the mom's side of the story, Nancy had a brother named Freddie when she was really young. And basically what happens is her parents left and they, like, trusted her to keep an eye on him.
Mm-hmm.
They were in a pool and she, like, walked away and wasn't paying attention to him and he ended up drowning. So they end up taking Freddie's body and they buried him in their family home's, like, backyard.
Mm-hmm.
But it's kind of like this big family secret and nobody really talks about it. Because, I don't know, I mean, it was basically, like, Nancy's fault that her brother died.
Yeah.
So, that is kind of, like, the big trauma behind this whole thing. And they decide to, go to... Oh, gosh. Guys, I'm so terrible with the names. Aunt. Which is the aunt that knows the...
There's Aunt Honey's in the hospital. Aunt Gail knows
Gail.
the other woman.
And the other woman's name, it starts with a B. We literally did this an hour ago. Barb.
Yes.
Barb.
Yeah.
Anyways, Aunt Gail, who's one of Nancy's sisters, knows a girl who's kind of like, she, like, helps do, like, seances and spirits and stuff like that. So they bring the puppet to Barb. Barb's like, this is out of my threshold. I thought we were dealing with demons. Sounds like you're dealing with ghosts because it's the ghost of Freddie. So that's kind of how all that plays out. She's like, you guys have to figure this out. This is all on your own. You and your family trauma, y'all gotta figure it out. So then they go talk to Aunt Honey and they learn this whole story about Freddie and all of the backstory about that. Sorry, I feel like I'm talking too much.
No, you're good.
Okay.
I didn't read the ending,
I
so I
feel
can't
bad.
really, like, pitch in with anything.
But basically, they go back on their way to their parents' old house to try and find Freddie's body and kind of, like, get this whole situation worked out.
Yeah.
Pumpkin keeps trying to kill Poppy, keeps having her try and jump out of the car as they're driving, all sorts of terrible stuff.
Yeah.
But then they get to the house, and all of, like, the puppets and the dolls and everything that, like, their mom made, they had packaged up and put it in the garage to try and get rid of it. But when they get to the house, it's all gone. It's all back to where it was. And Pumpkin's very mad, and he's completely controlling Poppy. He's, like, completely possessed this little 5-year-old girl.
Yeah.
Just terrifying.
Yeah.
But essentially, they start looking for Freddy in the backyard, and Pumpkin brings together all of his puppet friends and makes a giant, like,
Conglomerate
of all of the puppets into one big Power Ranger type, type puppet.
It's a Power Ranger puppet. That wants to kill them.
So they're in the backyard just duking it out with this giant puppet. Mark is, like, fighting this giant puppet. He also, like, had an imaginary dog as a child, and that
he named Spider.
That he named Spider, and that comes back and is helping them fight this giant puppet. See, it's
a little silly.
Weird. It's a little goofy when you just, like, when I was listening to it, it sounded really cool. Maybe not cool, but, like, at least, like, a little bit badass. But, like,
yeah.
So then this whole time, Louise is, like, digging underneath a tree trying to find Freddy's, basically his, like, casket, and she ends up finding this trunk, and inside is the,
his bones
of Freddy. And she talks to Pumpkin and is like, it's time for you to go to the afterlife now.
Yeah.
And he's like, alright.
Let me dip.
So she, like, joins him sort of in, like, a bridge between worlds sort of thing, and then bids Freddy farewell, and he goes off.
Yeah.
And they live happily ever after.
And then apparently all the dolls go back to normal, which I don't understand.
Well, they all, like, they all go back to normal. I think they all just, like, kind of have, like, spirits of their own, but they weren't actually controlled. They weren't Freddy, but, like, Freddy was, like, the leader, so, like, they were
with Freddy's power, they were alive.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that's kind of how it was.
Got it.
Yeah.
Also, I was thinking about this. If they went to a pool and Freddy drowned, why weren't there lifeguards?
I don't remember exactly what the scenario was about the pool. Also, this was, like,
I guess.
You know, how many years ago?
Yeah.
Because he died 60 years prior to them even being born. So, like, maybe it wasn't a pool. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Let's take a look.
I just had a thought about that. I will say the audiobook, listening to this version, it was actually really good. I felt like the narrator did a good job at, like, really nailing that puppet voice.
Did you listen to the dramatized version?
I don't know if I did.
Mine had all sorts of, like, other noises included. I'll have to show you.
Oh.
Some of it was a little much.
No, I don't think I listened to that version.
Yeah, to stay in the children's waiting pool. They told her to look out for her brother. She never listened.
Okay.
She wandered over to the ice cream place. Her man was scooping ice cream. And when she came back, people were all gathered around the ambulance, and my sister was howling like she had never seen a human howl before.
Oh. Okay.
But they did lie and tell everybody to, like, make Nancy not feel bad. They told him that he stepped on a rusty nail and got lockjaw.
Oh, yeah.
Was, like, how he died. But, like, that's not actually what happened, obviously. But, like, that's what they told everybody.
Yeah. I remember that from the very beginning of the book.
It was like, I feel like you could have said that he still just drowned.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a tour.
Oh, fantastic.
No way. No, they all have backpacks. Who knows?
Maybe it's like
Maybe it's a field trip.
Oh, no, that's Andrew.
Andrew Erickson!
Yes, yeah.
Oh, I bet you he's doing, I had him for first year seminar, and, like, we talked about Centennial being super sustainable.
Yeah.
Bless up Andrew Erickson.
Yeah.
If you're
100%
listening.
what's going on.
It's time for me to go to urgent care.
Yeah, it's time for us to wrap this episode up, but this book was very good.
What did you rate it?
Well, I haven't finished it, but I think I'm going to rate it 4.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's a great book for October, for Halloween. It gives the spooky vibes. So if you want, like, a spooky book that's not, like, too scary, read this one. It's
Yeah.
very well. It's
Yeah.
very well written, except for the timeline. It's a little wonky at times.
But that's okay.
Yeah, it's still nice. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the end.
I think so. So thank you guys so much for listening.
Yeah.
Listen next week because we're reading Stephen King's The Mist. And I'm so excited. This
Me
book
too.
is really old. It was like 1947.
Wow.
Maybe
It's also
I'm
very
wrong.
short, too.
Maybe I'm wrong.
We'll
I'm
find
wrong
out
on a lot
next
of
week.
things. Anyways, follow us. YouTube, Spotify, Instagram,
Personals.
all of the personals.
Everything.
All the things.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week. Bye.